We've reported before the number of pubs closing in London in recent years. Well, a man who knows a thing or two about that is Thomas Vosper. He plans pub crawls for a living and writes books about the great British boozer. Well, our reporter Johnny Harvey met him to find out how things have changed.
You can't find me a more spectacular pub entrance than this.
It's the Punch Tavern. It's pub number 6 on our Fleet Street to London Bridge route.
Thomas J. Vosper has turned his knowledge of London's various watering holes into books of historic pub crawls and a social media following of nearly 150,000 people. He met me on one of his historic routes to tell me how it all started.
In hand, I went into the first pub and I said, "Can I have a free pint? I'd like to film you and I'd like to put this on the internet." And of course they said to me, "No chance." And that's kind of where it all started.
What's the sort of things we'd see on this route?
When I think about a route, it's as much about having some really good pubs, but a variety of those good pubs. On to the next one?
Sure.
Let's go. This is a really famous literary pub. Not only was Charles Dickens a regular, if you look above the bar, they've got guest books going back hundreds of years. Pub culture's thriving and there's a huge interest in pubs. I see it all of the time on social media, but I think the reality is probably a much grimmer picture. I've now written 3 books and it's a task in itself to go back and look at those old routes that I used to prepare and then see which pubs still exist, which ones have changed their names, or which ones sadly are now either a hole in the ground or they're a block of flats.
Across the city last year, a pub called Last Orders for the final time every 9 days. And since 2001, over 1,300 have been lost in total. Thomas says he's visited nearly 700 pubs, but with some 3,500 still dotted across the city, it might take a few more crawls to get to them all. Johnny Harvey, BBC London.